It helps if you push the right buttons, whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these badass mid-sized trucks that I do drive. This is your All-Terrain Nation, and I'm your host, David Boyd. And if you're new to the channel, I am David Boyd, and I'm an auto journalist here on YouTube, and we cover the industry as a whole, and we also like to adventure and have fun. So any vehicle we generally buy, if it's a long-term review vehicle, we're going to go play with it and see what it's capable of. So welcome to the show, everybody. Hopefully you guys have an amazing Wednesday. I guess it's Wednesday. I don't even know. I've been on the road so much and just traveling that I don't even know what day it is. I need a break. That's for damn sure. But what is going on, everybody? Sorry for the midweek mid-size truck show. We normally do these on Saturday mornings, but because we have sadly a family life. Well, I won't say sadly, because we have a family life, softball, my daughter's playing softball and I umpire and all that fun stuff. And well, it's kind of interrupting the show right now. So I'm sorry for these being so sporadic, but we'll do it what we can, right? So I feel like something dropped today. I can't place my finger on it. And I really do feel like something important happened today. What was it? Oh, yeah, the Ranger Raptor dropped. The Bronco, man, I've done Bronco show too long. Yeah, that's right. The Ranger Raptor and the Ranger in general dropped, and the embargoes dropped where I could actually talk about it and talk about it. We will a little bit. Plus, we had I won't say we broke the story, but we covered the story and was probably the biggest covering this on YouTube, was the 2024 Toyota Tacoma. It looks like a TRD Pro snuck out. We're going to talk about here in a little bit. Nobody was like wanting to talk about it. Even all the bigger outlets didn't seem to have any interest in covering it. So I covered it, and almost 70,000 of you people watched that video. So I say thank you and tip my hat to you on that one. Anytime we can get a little win like that, it's big for us because YouTube does hide us a little bit. We have to earn our way, and I have zero issues earning my way. So smash that like button for me. And if you haven't yet and you like this kind of talk, hit that little red subscribe button for me. All right, let's see who do I have in the house tonight. Let's check this out. We got Mr. Frank B in the house. We got Eric Jefferson in the house. It's ATN family there. So sup to you back, buddy. Iconic Off-Road. We got Bronco 78 now, Bronco 78 Adventures. So did a little name change there, I see. Do 114 is in the house. Let's see. We got Dirk Connors, classic Dirk Connors in the house. Let's see what we got here. Dave looked like a kid in a candy store in those videos. Part of my the way I want to cover these vehicles, and I hope that now that the pandemic's done and I'm getting more access to this kind of stuff, I hope that you guys follow along with what I'm doing. Is I go into this. Obviously, there's things I have to hit. There's certain things I know you guys want to know about, but I go into any brand I cover as a kid in a candy store because I'm genuinely, if I go to that event, it's because probably I wanted to be there. I have been invited to things that I just don't want to go to. Generally car things that are just bland car things that, not that I would never do cars, but, we'll cover everything. And Kelly likes cars a lot on this channel, but I mean, there's only so many times you want to see a Versa or, a little Sentra or something like that. So I'm not saying I wouldn't if I was invited, but probably on the iffy side. But I really do go into this as a fan. And me and Kelly, when I set this channel up, I set it up from the get-go of the two halves. There's the enthusiast side of me who loves cool products that get to go just off-road and have fun with those products or hit the track with those products, or like I built a Juke. Who builds a Juke? I built a Juke because I was interested in that car and I thought, let's see what we can get out of it. And I ended up with Z1 Motorsports help and I'm getting 200 and almost 250 horsepower, something like that, out of that little Juke, little manual transmission car. So there's that side of me. But then there's hey, you have to cover the industry and you have to be taken seriously. And trust me, they don't. If you're on the enthusiast side, the industry does not want to take you seriously. So I have to kind of find this middle ground. And yes, I was definitely like a kid in a candy store with that vehicle. And me and Kelly, we probably, out of all the journalists, spent the most time with all of the vehicles. To set the story up for this, I'd known for about 3.5 weeks. We got the invite to that. And of course, I can't talk about those things. And the enthusiast side of me is like, hey, I want to tell everybody, hey, I'm going to get to play with this. And it's not like a dickhead, like, you guys don't. I want to the enthusiast side to like show you, like I want to show you the access and stuff. But unfortunately, the business side back over here doesn't allow that, so everything gets embargoed, and I can't talk about it, and can't even talk about that we were invited to that stuff. So we got invited to it. Initially, it was just me, and I reached out to Ford and said, "Look, me and Kelly are kind of a duo on these things," and so Kelly, they invited Kelly then, and we have fun. And part of the appeal with having Kelly there too is, you guys know, I bury myself into, if I like a topic, I'm going to bury myself into that, especially midsize trucks. I love midsize trucks, so I'm going to kind of bury them and learn as much as possible. And it's how I've always been about anything I'm excited by. And where Kelly, I purposely don't want Kelly to kind of know much about the vehicles. I mean, obviously she knew a Ranger. I mean, she's not an idiot to that, but it's so when me and her go to one of these events, like you can see her excitement of like, oh, this is really cool. Or that it's that first thing of like the E-shifter on the new Ranger. She did not dig that at all. I'm 50-50 on it with the Ranger Raptor. I'm like, it's the Ranger Raptor, so that's, who cares? I'll take it as is. But we do that intentionally so that you guys don't feel like some of these outlets, these old school magazine outlets, the way they write, the way they video is so snobby. It's very they're just immune to a lot of the coolness that is these auto industries. So hopefully you guys like the way we do content, and I don't mean to be so preachy about it. It's just we've grown quite a bit recently, so I want the new viewers to kind of get a take on what we do. So we got Blueford in the house, we got John Rossi, we got Scott. What's going on, everybody? Michael Cooper is in the house. Steve P from Phoenix. Steve, well, let's put this up here. Steve says, thanks, Dave and Kelly, for the great reviews. Ranger and Raptors are amazing. They are amazing. And there's a couple things we will get into. I've had a few comments. The biggest overwhelming comment that I've had so far about this event was no rear AC vents or heaters. Like, just, I'm lost at this one. And I can't understand why Ford has done this. I kind of give them some slack with the Bronco. I'm like, okay, it's a new style vehicle for them. I don't know if it was just some production issue why they just chose not to do it, and they just put them in the floor, under the seats. But they seem to be doing the same way with Ranger. Now, the vehicles that you saw, all of them are pre-production vehicles. Things can slightly change. I would say we're too far gone in the process to put vents back there, but I would say if I were Ford, I would look for a mid-cycle refresh in both Bronco and Ranger to get that done. It was pretty bad when all your competitors do it. I wasn't even aware of this, but I've seen enough comments in this from our Australian friends, because down in Australia, you guys know I've covered the Ranger for quite a while, feeding off of what they do. I've reached out some journalists down there hoping to just, but it's a weird time zone situation. But I want to talk, to those guys, but they're getting vents back there. It doesn't make any sense why they're getting vents back there. And speaking of venting, like, there's only one person, you guys know, there's only one person that knows how to vent better than me. And that is Mr. Pickup Truck Plus SUV himself, Tim Estremont.
I clicked on the button. I thought, what is this guy talking about? For crying out loud, he can't wear a hat on correctly. He has a Buckeye shirt on that looks actually clean. I'm impressed by the Buckeye shirt being clean. I thought, this guy is full of it.
Can y'all tell Tim's been on the road longer than me?
Oh my God. I am like, is it 3 sheets to win or 7 sheets to win? I am freaking tired as hell.
Hey, cheers, sir.
Cheers.
I'm in my big Titan press cup.
Yeah, I took the 1 o'clock exit work routine and sat in my chair and watched some movies.
Nice.
Which, if you know me, I can't do that. Like, that is like, I'm zonked.
Tim doesn't sit still.
No.
Tim, you've been on the road more than me. Of course, I'm not all press things I'm doing. Some of it was just enthusiast Bronco stuff, but it is kind of, the more deeper I get into all this, it is nicer. You're like, I got to find some quiet time for just to chill, like to reset, get your brain reset, and hopefully you do that well.
I don't. But no, I mean, it's a situation where like fans are like, "What about this? What about that? What about this?" And like, press events now. You've been to a couple of them. There's no "What about this, that, and the other." It's like, do you have your facts straight in a way that makes sense to the video? First look videos are terrible, right? So for example, Ford did its typical job as Toyota does, and as GMC does, and Chevrolet does. Press release comes out in email.
Mm-hmm.
You get the details on whatever the pad of paper, write them down as fast as you can, right?
Yep.
Then you have to regurgitate that stuff in like 2.2 seconds.
Tim, literally, the dog ate my homework.
Right?
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. The dog, Ford gave us those nice notebooks, and Kelly was writing down notes on that. She come upstairs to our office today, and somehow the dog got in her backpack, pulled it out, and then it chewed it up. I kid you not, the dog ate our homework.
But there's always details you miss, and it drives you nuts. Because like I wrote up the website post earlier today. Should be get this back to you on my little mic here, and I was like, man, I missed this detail, missed that detail. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like pulling my hair out, missing details, and then
it's tough. So we got 15-minute presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And there's very PR notes they hit, and they go over and over the same thing over and over and over, which is their job. It's all new. It's so strong.
It's all different.
It's
insert your marketing bingo,
yeah.
right?
But then we do presentations around each vehicle, and then I know you had time booked. I'd had time booked with vehicles individually. And then, and within 45 minutes, you have to go in and basically hope you learn something, then try to be interesting on camera. Like there's been a few nitpicks. There was one that people were complaining about that Kelly had an issue with the E-shifter. Just not a fan of it. It's not that it's bad, but she's just not a fan of that.
Yeah,
she likes the kind of older school, the little knob that sticks up. I don't know why she likes that, but that's what she does. Anyways, so
sounds like a marital problem to me.
The first video we did was I believe it was an XL in the STX package. Whatever the blue one was. I needed to reach out to Ford on that and kind of get some clarification on it, but whatever the one was down by the campsite.
Yeah, that was like an XL STX, which is hilarious to me because the order books aren't open yet.
Yeah.
So the STX package with the XL, it's actually pretty well known F-150 realm. Mm-hmm. But if you don't cover that realm specifically, who the hell knows what it is?
Yeah, no, I was not the sharpest with that one. I will not deny it. But the problem was, so that was the first one we got to cover, and then it had it as a normal shifter. It's the lower package. I believe it was an XL. And so it's a lower trim package, and it has the normal shifter. We didn't catch it. Then you move on to things that, you might do it too. You might not caught something the first time. Maybe Jill comes back around or however y'all work and starts pointing out stuff. And you're like, well, damn it. You're right. I did not catch that, but the video's done. Yeah. Like I can't go back.
I was so happy on the Lariat trim. They actually spelled out LED headlights in the
performance
text.
Yeah.
Because LED headlights. Because you have no idea. Like you don't have much time. I was there at the bitter end because my niece picked me up at the last minute. And I was standing there trying to get the Raptor footage. And Motor Trend had, not Motor Trend. Was it Motor Trend? Yeah, bastard.
I think it was Motor Trend.
They had the green one.
Mm-hmm.
Which the green one was just freaking badass.
I love that color. I've still not got a clarification on naming of that color.
Shelter Green, I think it was what the name was. So they took it for an hour and a half, and you had no, they were doing all their sorts of like that. Whatever. I had lots of thoughts.
How me and Tim filmed this stuff guerrilla style versus Motor Trend comes in. They had a crate of stuff of camera gear that they're like took up too much time.
Yeah,
for this style event.
Yeah, no, it was pretty awful what they did, and I'm still mad at them, and that's always the way it's going to be. So then, yeah, so here's the question: so was the XLT headlights LED and a reflector housing versus projector on Lariat, or were they halogen? Who freaking knows? Nobody knows. Nobody freaking knows. Like the building price is not active. The press release did not say anything about that. Did you notice the press release didn't say anything about the bed length? Not a single comment on bed length. So you have no idea what the bed length actually is. And then who knows how many add-ons will be available. who knows what's going to happen. I mean, it's just like, it's maddening to do these events and then try to get real details. And there's always questions happening after the event goes live. And you just, who knows?
Well, and then the feedback we get in the comment section is, hey, you know, why didn't you cover this or that? And you're like, look, dude, I had maybe 20 minutes with this vehicle. I'm trying to find all the highs. We'll get to the lows down the road when either we get first drives or there's another event. The biggest thing I've seen so far is people are upset about is obviously, you know, what is it, crew cab, whatever Ford calls there, king cab, whatever. That people are upset that there's no two-door option. Obviously, that's just gone away, guys. You might as well. I don't think Toyota's going to come out with a two-door either.
That ship has sailed.
And the fact that there's no manual transmission, though Ford is not clear. They've not said there's no manual option. That's just what we've got to see so far. Now, do I think there's a manual transmission? No, I really don't think there'll be one, but there's no trimmer package. People are upset about that. You know, I'm 5 in the morning, Tim, posting this stuff all the forums and stuff I can, and instant feedback.
It was 4 a.m. It was 6 a.m. Eastern, man. It's 4 o'clock my time. 5 is good for you. I actually, here's the deal. I was United Club, had a fan reach out to me, United Club. I was sitting there having a beverage of choice and trying to get video done. And a fan reached out to me, which is great. Him and I talked for a while in person. Love the feedback. And trying to get that done and live. I actually flew home in a thunderstorm with hail hitting the house, got home, laptop on a table, uploading a video, thumbnail, then went to bed.
Yeah.
Like that's what happens.
Oh yeah. No, I had, so we flew in Friday night. I instantly started dumping stuff. Saturday morning, I had 5 ball games I had to umpire. So that's just a community commitment that I've put myself to. And then I rushed home to start. I had 3 videos I had planned. So I'm rushing. I got 2 of them done. And then Sunday, I forget, we had family stuff going on. And like Monday night, luckily we had a rain out because I had a ball game to coach. And luckily it happened so I could finish the 3rd video.
I was with family all weekend. And then we had some Tacoma or no.
Yeah, you dropped a
Tacoma new. Yeah, that was it turned out to be, I was completely in the wrong on that video. And trying to get videos done and just, this is not like you have all day to walk around. And then, you know, comments like, no 6-foot bed. Like, that's cafe. That's totally, in my opinion, that's all about cafe standards on wheelbase, which is a footprint, which is a new metric that came out in like 2013. And our reason going away from that, as far as in the midsize realm, Nissan has anything left in that 6-foot bed. And I'm like, I don't know how, actually to this day, I don't know how long the bed is in the Ford Ranger.
Yeah.
There's no
I think Nissan only does the long bed in Canada.
Yeah.
They do a king cab long bed in Canada, I believe, on the Frontier.
Yeah. Nobody's doing that. Like people get mad about 6-foot bed, but I'm like, nobody's doing that at all across lineup. Like Chevy killed it. I think Tacoma is going to kill it too. I can't see that happening, but yeah. So like I'm home for 4 or 5 days. And I'm gone for 7.
Easy, guys. Savor that.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's so like Ford video guy says 5-foot bed. Do you know? Because I have no details. I have nothing from Ford that spells out specs and actually how long the bed is.
He's a dealer, and I know dealers got briefing today at 3 o'clock. So maybe dealers probably got a little bit better briefing than we did, I would hope.
Yeah, I mean, I want a spec sheet from Ford. I've actually been arguing with Chevrolet currently about a spec sheet for 2500. They're doing analysis trying to figure out what the numbers are for me because they have no numbers. No, I'm not trying to BS you. That literally is happening right now in emails that GM does not know what the max trailing package will actually do in a 3/4 ton as far as payload and towing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then in my video, I said, look, people are like saying, hey, I'm going to order this truck tomorrow. I'm going to put my dealer I'm going to take an order. I'm going to bitch about how long it took to get the truck delivery. Ford Ranger is not being built anytime soon.
I don't think it goes into production
if you ordered yesterday, who the hell cares?
Yeah.
You cannot get it.
I think it doesn't go in production until honestly September, October is when it actually goes in production.
I have no spec. So the Ford video guy says he has a spec sheet. I have no Ford spec sheet. I looked in the media guide, looked at the backgrounder. Media.ford.com does not have any spec sheet.
Yeah. Did you? I mean, I got something in the email. I'd have to look at it, man. But you're like you said earlier, we're flooded with all this information. You have to quickly turn this stuff around. I'm not sitting at a desk half the time, really. Even the notes I get to do, I'm only writing stuff down so it mentally sticks in my head. That's the only reason I write it down. I rarely go back and look at the book. I've just found that if I write something down, it sticks in my silly brain.
Yeah,
Tim,
same deal. And I screwed
so
up completely.
I have a poll up right now because I'm kind of curious. This has been a great week of mid-size truck news.
Yeah.
So the poll is, which truck has surprised you the most, the Ford Ranger or the Toyota Tacoma /Image? Because there's nothing of, I will not say that's official image at all. It looks really official, but till Toyota releases the info, we don't know. Both vehicles are kind of interesting to me because both of them we've sort of known what we're going to get for quite a while. There's not been, I would say maybe Toyota has been more of a tease. What could it look like? But we knew it was going to look like a smaller version of the Tundra of sorts. Ranger we've seen for almost a year now. Like, which one of those two right now have kind of surprised you?
So I can tell you definitively that image that we saw is the Tacoma.
Yeah.
The Toyota engineers reached out to me last night because they did video and interior. They were really pissed off, but they confirmed that the exterior image is actually correct. Right. And so that is the Tacoma. I'm not surprised by it. I was actually with a Toyota VP on Thursday night before the Ford event, and he was joking about driving over and picking up in the new Tacoma prototype. And I was like, oh, why you do that? Why you pick up the Tacoma prototype? But yeah, so I will tell you this. I'm not surprised by the Tacoma image. I really thought that was kind of the way it's going to look as far as the smaller version Tundra. I'm really excited to see what the door length is as far as the door and the exterior skin.
It does look from that photo look taller.
Yeah. And people bitch about time like it's tall enough. I'm like, no, it's not. Like the Ford Ranger I did video today was very much about how you could recline the front seat all the way back and still fit back in the rear seats, which is not a thing you typically do in mid-sized trucks. And so I'm like, my goodness, that'd be fantastic to be able to sit 4 people, actually 4 adults in a mid-sized truck. And so yes. I'm very curious to see if Tacoma comes out with that. I'm very curious to see what happens with that truck overall. But yeah, last night was a long night. I had the chief engineer for the Toyota trucks message me like crazy because they're all pissed off about the interior video I did because it was a miscommunication. And him and I are chatting online, and I'm taking videos down. Had a guy from Tacoma4G.com, whatever. That's not the vertical scope site, that was mad at me because I didn't cite his site for doing the image leak. And I was like,
I had Ranger 6G getting my ass about the photo that I dropped from inside the plan of the Ranger Raptor.
Yeah.
And you need to give credit, this and that. And I was like, look, dude, my source is not you. Do you think you're the only one that got that photo?
Yeah, it just was. I mean, this happens every year. It happens all the time. And we have these people reach out and they're like, well, I'll give you. And I literally changed the website post to give him credit. And he's like, well, change the video. I'm like, you can't change the video.
Yeah.
You can't change YouTube video. That's impossible. You can't do it. There's no way.
I'm not losing those views because you want your name on it.
Yeah. So lots of stuff happening last night. So I would say that I would say with Toyota overall is that I am always disappointed in what they bring out because I always want more from them. But then they always do the things they do right, and they have the market share they do because they do those things right. So I'm always like, man, I want more from Toyota, but they just never deliver all the features I want. But I will tell you this, I was blown away by the Ford Ranger.
Really?
I just thought
I did, so we didn't kind of get to kind of A and B what you thought of it.
Yeah, because so at these events, so we have, was there 20 people there, 25 people there?
About
and then
25.
we just kind of split it off and, whatever. And then you got picked up and I got picked up. And it's just things happen.
I was the last one to leave that thing.
Right. I was like I was right in front of you because my niece came in later on, pick it up, which is funny because Ford's like.
And who was the old guy drinking whiskey on the porch? I wanted some of that whiskey, man.
I don't know. Yeah, but
I don't know if he owned the camp or whatever, but
it was typical to Ford. But anyways, it's just one of those things where it's like a lot of stuff going on. You can't get all the details, and the dealers get different details we get, and like Ford Video Guy says, and so you're trying to get information out there. Like in my entire goal as a journalist to get information to you, the consumer, to make it a informed consumer, and you don't always get all the details, and so it's frustrating how that works out. But yeah, it was a chaos event, and then as typical of these events go, you capture as much as you can, and then you're waiting to do the first drive event, waiting to do the full like 7-day press loan that happens later on this fall. And it's funny because people are like dropping orders right now today, and they want it tomorrow. And I'm like, and they're gonna be like, well, Ford sure screwed that up. They released the vehicle on May 7th. I didn't get it till like September 2nd. It's like that's not the case.
Well, some of these guys, especially if you're because I'm not brand loyal. I've been covering Ford a lot over the past year and a half because to me they've been doing the most interesting things, whether it be from keeping that pony car alive in the Mustang or the Bronco just kind of taking on Wrangler, and obviously F-150 just dominates whatever it does. But I'm not brand loyal, and I think a lot of these people, a lot of my viewers are brand loyal, it seems like, to Ford. So they're used to that kind of, well, here comes Bronco again. They're going to this and that. And I'm like, no, I think the reason that if they do the order banks May 26th, I think the reasons for that is pretty simple. They know demand. They know how to ramp up production of all the parts to make these vehicles. So they're not going to get into this thing of, 2 weeks run and then 1 week down, 2 weeks run, then 1 week down. I think Ford wants to make sure they can actually build this truck and get it to market, because the pickup truck for Ford that's their bread and butter, man. Even in a Ranger, they make good money.
They don't sell cars, so
yeah. Well, the Maverick's their car now, and Maverick's selling well, so they know Ranger.
You hard to beat that. So here's my question for you: have you seen the comments yet, or are you seeing the comments overall about lack of a PHEV Ranger or lack of a hybrid Ranger?
So funny you say that, because I was on Ranger 6G, one of the big forums for this, and I talked to him. I was like, hey, I'm going to before I've said, hey, yeah, I've been invited to a press event. Obviously you can't say anything past that. And dude, the speculation went for a week, went crazy of like, oh, it's going to get a PHV or just pure hybrid. They're going to do the power boost and all this stuff. And of course, me and you both know what they didn't do. And I'm just like, guys, don't like it. The Ranger is not the F-150. Like F-150, they sell so many, they have room to, in my opinion, they have room to play around a little bit. Yeah. Let's add the power boost. Ranger is a tighter segment for them, and there's not the room to be like, yeah, let's just throw out 16 different plug-in hybrids or power boosts and just see what happens.
Yeah. So one of you guys comments, he's super disappointed about no plug-in, no hybrid, no plug-in. I thought it was interesting because, I mean, it's like lots of people will think that is going to be that way, and it's just not going to be that case, because I don't think the plug-in hybrid has much payload, and the price is very expensive.
I don't think for truck in general, plug-in's not the way to go for truck.
Because I gave you a weird look there because it says on my screen, we're using StreamYard as background. It says stream this to your audience.
Yeah, it has a thing now where you can actually share it to your.
Right.
Oh, now Tim wants to be experimental.
I know, I'm trying this.
But so plug-in hybrids, they're towing. I mean, trucks are made to do work things. Yeah. Clearly, the Lightning was Lightning in theory is cool, but in practicality, I don't think is works as well as a pure EV. So if you're trying a pure EV mode with a pickup truck, I count out Maverick, because Maverick it's a car, that has a little truck bed. But I don't look at Maverick the same way that I'm going to look at Ranger, a fully boxed frame vehicle. But I did happen to notice, Tim, I'm assuming you got under the seats and looked at everything. If you look at the hump where the little storage bins were under the seats, it's the exact size of a battery pack. Like, I really do think that they do have probably a power boost-ish something coming, because there was even a hole there and you could look inside it and you could just see all this open area under the seat.
Yeah, no, I mean, underneath the seat was interesting storage. They had two little pockets. Oh, wait, we're getting Kevin Hawthorne here from my channel. So I'm sorry to like throw a curveball at you big time, because I didn't realize that I clicked this button. And so, what's your numbers looking like, Dave? How many people are on right now?
Only 48, but you just did that, so it'll jump here, I'm sure.
Yeah. So we're talking Midsize Trucks with Dave here, and we were both at Ford Ranger event. And I want to do this Ford Ranger. I actually was thinking about doing a live stream myself, stealing your thunder, and I was tired as hell, so I didn't do it. But
hey buddy,
I
you look tired as hell. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I mean it's like oh my gosh. I got at 11 o'clock last night, and we had a hailstorm come through and lightning strikes come through, and I was worn out. So
well, looky there, I can see. I'm looking at YouTube, and I can see where you're streaming it.
Oh, am I? This is really. I'm sorry. Timeout curveball. It's really cool. I can click the button and do live stream.
And I can see in the comments. I can see where their link comments. So they must be watching.
Gina's here. So this is interesting. So I can bring my fans in to your fans to your channel to your
Just a big happy family.
I'm doing lots of points right now because I have no idea what's going on. So tune in. So I will tell you this. I was really impressed with the Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Really impressed with the cargo room, a rear seat passenger room. I was really impressed with the shifter. I thought the shifter was spot on. I hate the dial.
Which one? The non-E or the?
I hate the dial shifters. I don't like the James Canyon's got the really tall shifter. It's a perfect size shifter. You still reach the cup holders. Sorry, I need a little reminder. I am 3 sheets, 7 sheets, 27 sheets to win. I'm freaking done. But I was really impressed with that. People were talking about towing. Like I think somebody did a video on like towing and it's like 7,500 pounds, whatever. I'm like, really? Who the hell cares about a mid-sized truck towing? I'm sorry, I don't care about that stuff.
It's already 7,500, man, that's more than you need to tow with that little truck.
There's no way. I mean, guys are towing lawnmowers with that damn thing and a little utility trailer. There's no reason to tow that stuff. And so, I mean, I actually was really impressed with the Lariat. I really liked the Lariat a lot. The seat comfort was spot on, and I did my butt seat thing. I did my butt seat thing, right? Which is a huge deal. I don't know why people brands. I said this forward. I said, why don't brands focus on seats first? That's ridiculous. And then I talked to the interior designer after I was done because waiting for the Ranger Raptor to be done because Motor Trend was doing their hogging thing, and talked to him about. The rear seats don't have a grab handle.
I didn't notice that.
So I'm doing camera. I'm hauling my happy ass across seats, grabbing the headrest, and pull myself across to get in that seat. So yeah, we're doing a combo live stream tonight, guys. So look at all this stuff. There are tons of people going on. You don't need that. You don't need to. If you are towing more than 7,000 pounds with a Ford Ranger, you are in the wrong place of business.
Well, maybe a 20-foot boat is roughly like 3,500 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna do a flat boat. You're gonna do. I actually hauled down my brother's. He had a like a flat boat with the motor on the back. I mean, my goodness, you can't do that much with that. So no rear grab handle, of course, interior designer's like, well, that was really good feedback you got from me. I'm like. You're a Ford. How do you not think of this stuff? Like, hello. Yeah, tow both mid-size truck. So what Wilmar says, and Wilmar is a big fan of my channel. He has said this many times. You can tow both mid-size truck. That's it. 7,500 pounds is some pull-behind campers.
Yeah.
If you pull a 25-foot pull-behind camper with a Ford Ranger, you need to get your license restricted.
Well, so we got 2 leaf springs.
Yeah.
It's got a main leaf and like a helper leaf, and that was it, which struck me funny on the last Ranger that they did that. When most brands look like 4 or 5 leaves under these things, Ford's like, nah, we're good. Just get.
Yeah, I mean, because towing is like number 47th on the list of reasons why you buy a midsize truck.
1,800 pounds cargo, I think, which is pretty good.
Okay, Gene, hold on. Gene says there's rear grab handle above the ceiling. Gene, you called that out in my video too. I'm sorry, Gene. I love you, buddy, but that's BS.
Let me see if I can find any interior photos.
No, I don't know if I missed it, but it does not exist. As I told my son, that's what comes out of the south end of a north-facing bull.
Oh, you know what it does get though, Tim?
Did you not get that?
Oh, look. On-off switch.
Oh, a headlight switch. Headlight switch. Why is this such a big deal these days? I'm shocked by this.
I don't know, man, but
I will tell.
I like to poke at GM about that.
When I did a GMC Canyon and I was in the dark there in Asheville, I had to do the lamp in the bed. You have to go in the menu system, turn on. You have to make sure truck is turned on, accessory mode or turned on, and then you have to look at that. You have to click the button. Gene says I've checked my video. All right, Gene, fine. Be on notice. Check your video. But so like you have to go in the menu system, click the button, and turn on the the launching of what do we call that thing? Launching of the a clamshell? No. What do we call that damn thing? God damn it! I'm missing the thing. No, but it's a launcher. It's like a yeah. Anyways, so you have to go in the menu system. Click the somebody's in the comments. Gene, come on, Gene, help me out, buddy. What are you launching with the Chevy Colorado and the Chevy Silverado and GMC Canyon and GMC Sierra? It's the jellyfish launcher. Jellyfish launcher. There's no jellyfish launcher in the Chevy products and GMC products, and that is ridiculous. You have to go to the menu system to turn it on. It means your truck has to be on in accessory mode or on to press a button.
What about I was happy to see they put the tow assist feature in this little truck. With the little back, you use the gauge in there to kind of help you guide back. I mean, that was a nice feature for the
backup assist. Yeah,
you got a lot of full size features in this new Ranger. I know people will bitch you, oh, I didn't see a sunroof, this and that. Guys, these were 3 trucks that they had that they could kind of show the press. That was it. They didn't say here's our lineup.
Yeah. I mean, you get what you get there. I mean, so like I thought the towing thing was really interesting because again, I don't know if anybody cares about dick about that besides let's do the eye gauntlet situation, but anyways, nobody cares about midsize truck full set for towing, max towing. I mean, again, it's about wheelbase length, it's about curb weight of the trucks. It just doesn't matter. But they made a big deal about the fact that the new Ranger has the trailer brake controller.
Yeah.
Ooh, voila. Ooh, voila, Dave. Ooh, voila.
Well, what was funny was seeing it on the Ranger Raptor. I'm like, I couldn't tell you what 5 was probably towing on the Ranger Raptor. If that, I don't even, that's a spec I didn't even look up. But like, wow, we needed I guess if maybe you pull a side by side, little double axle trailer, maybe, but I will say though, in the forums, all the people are bitching. Well, what would I want that truck for? I can't tow with it. And I'm like, guys, what the Ford F-150 Ranger is. It's not made to tow. It's basically a UTV. It's a sport vehicle only. It's like a sports car of a truck. It's not, I wouldn't take my vet out and go, hey, let's go, let me go get the lawnmower. Let me take it to the shop. That's just not what these vehicles are made for.
Not at all. Can you pull up Dylan Chambers' comment? Dylan Chambers WX.
I'm looking at there it is.
I want to talk about this because his question regarding Canyon, Denali, and XLT trim, are they finally going to add halogen headlights again? I thought it was interesting because LED has become the all or nothing, right? So in the comments, and any video you've done or I've done, oh God, they have halogens? Are they 1980s again? LED moving forward, right? And then the population of Montana, North Dakota, and parts of Washington State, Minnesota, Michigan, Maine, they're like, I don't want LEDs because LEDs don't burn off the snow and ice, right? So like, but then you go southern states are like, well, why not LEDs? You too cheap to do LEDs? Are you screwing us over by $60,000 truck not having LEDs? I think it's really interesting discussion. Again, I'm really tired. I apologize. But LEDs, I was so like blown away by Lariat that actually spelled out we have LED headlights on this Lariat trim because So
it's funny you made a big deal of that in your video. You really
I'm like, dude, right there. Like, because everybody argues about halogens and LEDs, right? They're like, are those halogens or LEDs? Like, it's huge topic conversation going on these days. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I remember one of your, I won't say early videos, maybe 18, 19. You were driving to maybe Denver. And I remember you had the sensors were going off and whatever you were driving, like, because all the snow was hitting it. You had to go out front and scrape everything off. The lights were frozen over.
Yeah, they're frozen over.
Yeah. And it was, and at the time, I think it was because we were just getting into LED vehicles. It was like, oh shit, this is not warm.
Yeah. I had no idea this whole controversy existed. Again,
wait till we get defrosters for our lights, because that's coming.
Yeah. Well, so what was it? Oh, there's a 49X. It's a big mouse. It's a big heavy duty truck. Maybe a Kenworth 49X, whatever the deal was. And in the press release, they said they put heat in the LED headlights to burn off the snow and ice.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, what a great thing. And so I made a big deal about that. People were like, well, they didn't, no, nobody watched the video, but yeah, but I'm like, this is a issue for people living in those climates, not having
Tim,
the light bring off.
So I've got to interrupt your little rant there for a minute. So guys, if you're new to the channel, thank you for being on here. I have 8,880 subscribers. If I could get 8 right now, I love weird numbers like that. It would just make my day.
No, we got friends here. We got Wilmar here, Elliot's here, James is here. I mean, it's so awesome. The StreamYard technology is bringing my fans to your fans.
We're gonna have to do this like so you've been doing the Saturday shows with me. What this show is?
Yeah.
And we'll just have to dual stream those, Tim.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm gonna steal your money. But no,
that's all right.
I clicked a button. This is so cool. I clicked a button. You guys be live with us both. I mean, luckily Jill is moving. She's not available tonight to correct me. But yeah.
Hopefully Jill's
I love Jill. I'm just picking on Jill. Jill is great. So yeah,
I'm bummed that I'm not going to get to see Jill at the Mama event. I'm kind of kicking myself that we had to back out of that one.
Oh yeah, Jill will be there. She's with me in Hawaii next week, and then
Hawaii.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I know why, but I'm just Hawaii in general. Like, yes, please.
I'm telling you, buddy, I'm gonna get laid. Excuse me, I'm gonna get the lay on my.
You will when you get off the plane. Yes.
Right, I get the lay thing. Yeah. So I'm home for 4 days, which, oh my gosh, I have so much work to do to get things done, and I'm gonna be going to Hawaii. Yes, I'm driving the Grand Highlander. Abu, I'm gonna say Abu. I'm sorry, buddy. You have a great name. I don't think going at that deal, but yeah, Abu. I'll be driving the Grand Highlander in Hawaii, plus an undisclosed vehicle, and I'll be taking the red eye from Hilo to Flagstaff to do a launch of a undisclosed vehicle.
But if you think of the dates that are coming up, I
mean, come on.
Yeah, leave it at that. So Tim, normally you do a 5 good, 5 bad things on these vehicles when you see them, but obviously, the thing that pissed me off was I set up, hey, I had 2.5 hours, whatever Ford gave me with these vehicles, and then you get the written press that don't understand that there's nobody but them, and they will walk. I was filming, and dude just walked right in front of my shot to quickly. Oh, I'm just getting a picture, and you're like, I was literally talking on camera, and you're like, oh, it doesn't matter. But so I know you had a quick time with each one. What are a couple good and bad that really stood out? I know obviously you love the vehicle. I think it's a good vehicle. I'm curious where Toyota's going to rank with this, but where are you at with this one?
I like the fact that it's got the built-in step that's built into the bed.
Yes,
I don't understand why it's an option. Like, that seems really bizarre.
And then if you don't get it, you just get this ugly piece of plastic basically over it.
But you know how manufacturing works, right?
Yes.
You know manufacturing works. You worked manufacturing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So wouldn't you love every truck body coming into place with the same thing you bolt on?
Yeah.
Why do an option? Like, that made zero sense to me. Like, that was terrible.
I was happy that for some reason they could still put map pockets in at least one side of the truck, because with GM, that's an option now.
I'm doing a golf clap map.
Yeah. But it's the little shit that GM's starting to take away. You need a higher trim for that one. And Ford was like, well, we'll just put it in the XL.
Why are map pockets such a big controversial point?
Because
why is grab handles? Why is there only? Do you notice there's one grab handle in the the overall Ford Ranger? But it's got the bigger tires and things. I'm confused by that. It's like, why is a grab handle? And then I'm surprised there's not a hybrid option. The power in the bed, at least they did it. Thank God. The difference in the GMC and Chevrolet did it. At least they have some power in the bed. Like, I mean, why is that? Those are hard things. Like, I'm sorry, trucks are getting more expensive. Yes, I get it. Fantastic, whatever. But spend the $2 to give me a grab handle. Spend the $2 to give me that stuff. And then the thing I was a little frustrated about was the 2.7 liter is not available to late availability, and that
Yeah,
Ranger
I didn't get
Raptor
that one.
is
It's
going
a
to be
new
late.
block? Is it the way they're describing it,
Yeah,
and I don't
I'm
know for
like,
sure, is it
you build
like
it
it's
for
a
the
new block?
F50. Why F50 and Bronco, right? So why is that delayed?
No idea on that one.
Yeah, why was that
And
so like you can't buy that until you get a chance to do this stuff? So yeah, and so Elliot says honestly, who cares about map boxes? We complain about vehicle that doesn't have wireless CarPlay. I agree, but it just seems odd. It's
yeah.
a weird. Elliot, it's a weird thing. I don't understand that at all. Again, I'm really tired. So I don't get that one. I don't get the what other thing I didn't get. I didn't get something else. There's a couple of things I didn't get. I thank God the tailgates have been dampened.
Oh,
Is
they
it?
didn't put but they didn't put the struts on the hood.
Yeah.
You gotta and I said it in my video, it's a first world problem, but you dampen the tailgate, but you can't like help me get to check my oil. You can't have it just a power assist deal there.
Right. Yeah. No, it's totally like you lift it up and put the hand thing. Yeah. Yeah. The motor in the Ranger Raptor is 3.0 liter V6 by the way
Yep.
too.
Twin turbo,
So
same as the Bronco Raptor, except it's detuned. Which is to your point about the 2.7, it's detuned from what the Bronco gets. Basically the same motor, but instead of 330 horsepower, you get 315. And I don't know if it's because the trucks are a little bit lighter and there's a power to weight ratio that they want to play with or what.
yeah, that's Ford's biggest thing, right? Power to weight ratio.
I did like arguing with the I forget what journalist was. He's from Minneapolis. He was in our group. Very
Joel.
loud guy. Can't think of his name.
Joel
Yes.
Fetter.
I did love we're riding to this press event and he's talking about and he's like he's loving the Bronco. He likes the Raptor, the F-150 Raptor, and he goes, yeah, this thing's gonna, be I bet it's gonna be 450 horsepower in this thing, this and that. And I'm like, for one, I know you've been around this for a while. You should know that they're not putting more horsepower than the F-150 is getting, but he was and it's gonna have 35-inch tires and this and that. And I was like, look, dude, they're not doing like, and I love the when he kind of had to eat crow and we were all standing there when they were showing us this truck and he was like, well, I can get 35s on my F-150. Why can't, and they're like, look, man, there's a certain, and everybody needs to hear this. Ford had a great answer for this. They said, look, we could put 35s under it, but you lose suspension travel. And this is not a pure rock crawler off-road vehicle. This is a desert running high speed. You need suspension travel. So I'm sure you can shove 35s under this thing and be happy, but that's not the purpose of this vehicle. But he had to eat crow on it. But Tim, I was very happy that, Australian version got 392 horsepower. We got 405. So, and I figured they were going to go over 400 with this truck. Yeah. So I was happy with the output of it.
I mean, the power weight ratio, questions about the body being aluminum. I actually asked that question and they didn't give me an answer.
I thought they said steel.
Yeah, I thought it was steel all the way around, which is
well,
odd
I think
to me
the hood and tailgate are aluminum.
Yeah, so
but I can't remember
the question about the tailgate. The tailgate's aluminum for sure. Like tailgate weighs way less than it did before. I don't know. I don't have actually specs for that. I thought the hood was aluminum. The door, I couldn't tell it anywhere else. I asked Ford, and they said to get back to me on that. I'm like, you went full in on aluminum on the F50. You did not discuss that in the Ranger. Like I'm always.
Well, I did hear people complaining about the weight because I guess the previous Rangers are 4,800 pounds and this one's like 5,300. So people are upset about the weight increase on that one. I don't know where it would actually increase. It may be safety gear. Guys, can you tell that I was very happy to see this truck? Like I was by myself. I got video of this truck driving there, which was probably kind of a no-no. It's probably not supposed to have any rolling footage just yet, but hey, they didn't stop me. They actually, Tim, they said, hey, do you want to ride? They asked me, where do you want this truck? And I was like, over there is fine. And he goes, you want to ride in it? And I was like, no, not at all. For one, I want to own this vehicle. I'm very excited about it. So I want to own this. And either I want to get a press trip out of this to drive it first, that way, or when I buy mine, I don't want some cheap and like, here, what we took you 500 feet.
Yeah. No, so here's my question for you. Always happens at press events. Were you over or under impressed on the Raptor or the regular Ranger?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, because it's much like the poll question that I have is, and guys, go ahead and click that poll for me. I want to wrap
Yeah,
that one up.
click
Uh,
subscribe, click like on Dave's channel.
no,
I
but
honestly don't know how you're doing this with
I
the
don't.
dual stream. I'm really impressed. I'm really tired. I'm going to respond here in about nanosecond.
So that's a tough one, man, because we've seen this. It's like the Tacoma. We kind of
Yeah.
seen that truck. It's not.
Yeah.
When that picture came out last week, I was very excited because it was a weekend, everybody was sleeping on it, and I did well with that photo, so I'm very pleased about that. But
yeah, you did
I know,
really well.
hey, I did let you know.
You did
text
well.
you about it.
I just wasn't sober at the moment to be able to do a video. I
totally
tell you right now, my brother's
You were on
cabin
the
in
golf course.
Skoda, and we're celebrating the end of a relationship, and we were at the bar, and I buried a fifth of Crown. I just was not ready to do that.
No, but so that truck, I was like, oh, cool, we're seeing it, but yeah, it's what I expected. It was basically that patent photo. So this one, we've seen it. Like, there's not a ton we haven't seen about this. There was the questions I had with this truck were obviously engine options, which I broke a story 2 months before where somebody had accidentally I won't say accidentally, they took a picture of the under the hood of a Raptor that had 23, 27, and 30 a government badge on it.
Right. That person got
so that was for me the question of it. I knew it was going to be. There's no bad trucks, man. You've sat in enough of these new trucks. I've sat in enough of these things. Every one of them's a little different, but they're all relatively comfortable vehicles. It's not like the days of the old 80s S10s where you had that bench seat versus the horrible seating position of the Toyota and Nissans, their thin seats because they weren't used to Americans being a little bit chunkier than their buying audience.
What are you trying to say there, bro?
Hey, I'm saying I put on about 40 pounds I've got to get rid of is what I'm saying.
I'm saying that Bucky shirt is the bucket's kind of spread out.
but I will say I was very pleased with the Ranger. The number one thing I will say, and Ford needs to get their shit together about this one, is no rear AC vents. Makes no sense to me. The Australian versions get it. The US version does not get rear air vents in the back of it. Raptor didn't have it. The XL didn't have it. The XLT, the Lariat, none of those trucks had it, and they don't do it in Bronco. And I thought, okay, Bronco's just a weird vehicle. I wrote that one off. Like, okay, they're learning that new audience. They know trucks. People in the back get hot. So where are you at with that? That would be the one that pissed me off.
So years ago, a friend of the channel named Brandon wrote a story about that, and it's one of the most viewed stories still on the website.
Oh, I know. You talk about it all the time.
Because people, I mean, I don't know. The cab is not very big, so you can actually turn the air back to your seats. I mean, it's inconvenience for sure. And I get so mad about this nickel and dime bullshit. Right?
The Colorado got it. Come on, man. I don't buy that. It's hard
why
to do.
nickel and dime this stuff? Like, trucks are expensive. Fine, whatever. Great. Great, whatever. But like, don't nickel and dime this little BS you're doing.
Yeah.
Because that rear AC for the crew cab, oh my God, what is it? $5? I know $5 over 20,000 units is a lot of money.
Yes.
But people will pay extra $100 more for that truck because of that.
Especially in the premium trims, the Lariat and the Raptors. Those are the ones that you're like, I should have especially Raptor. Raptor should be, because there's not going to be with Raptor. There's not going to be many options. You're going to get, I think, Bedliner's an option. There's going to be like maybe 2 colors that are premium colors, and that's about it. So
I don't understand nickel and dime stuff. Like, if you want to raise truck prices and you want people, fine. I don't care at this point because truck prices are ridiculous. Fine, whatever. Be mad about it. Say who's buying these trucks. Fine, whatever. But why nickel and dime stuff?
Yes. Totally agree. No, I'm with you on that. The one thing I did find too about the chrome package on the Lariat, the red one that was there, dude, those mirrors on the side were horrendous. The big chrome, like, can you imagine being a pedestrian walking down a street and this big chrome mirrors on the side of, like, it reflecting in your eyes, or you're a distracted driver because the truck was like sun was hitting this thing? Like, it was just ridiculous. I mean, I know there's a segment that will buy. There's an older segment that still loves chrome on vehicles. Totally understand. But
they drive down to a rally and they really chrome it up. I mean, it's great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we go to AutoZone and buy the chrome badges.
I didn't mind that. I mean, chrome mirror caps is a thing that's been been around for a while. It's like whatever.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, I don't understand why there's not more money spent on small little details. Yeah, so Elliot says sunroof, ventilated seats, and Blue Cruise. Blue Cruise, Ford's like, well, but I'm like, you guys are full of crap. Like, I'm sorry, but the midsize truck customer is not buying a full-size truck and not cross-shopping.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I absolutely believe that a midsize truck customer is different than a full-size truck
I'm
customer.
a midsize. Well, I've owned both.
Yeah.
I will go to midsize truck before I want full size. Now, if my life were different,
but are you willing to give up those features on a midsize to have to go to full size to get those features?
No, that's what I'm saying is I'm not going to cross shop a midsize to a full size truck. I'll make cross shop brands. If I'm looking at right now, the two big dogs are the GM Twins and the Ford. Those would be the ones I'm cross shopping right now because they're the latest and greatest. But past that, no, I'm not looking. Well, let me go to F-150 because I've seen the comments in the forums today of, well, for the price. Oh my God, the price. Oh, well, I didn't post the price up about this thing because it's always subject to change. And they get starting was 34,000, I think, for the Ranger.
36, something in that range, but it doesn't
Which
matter
is expensive.
because that's a price doesn't the price they put out is ridiculous. Like the Ranger Raptor is 56,000, something like that.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like by the time you thing up, it's $60,000.
So I didn't do that. I know TFL, they did a video on, talking about price and that was referenced a lot in the,
you'll get comments.
No, I'm not bagging, but they have interesting takes. That's the cool thing about all what we do. We all have interesting different ways of looking at it, but they wanted to talk about price. And so that kept getting referenced back in this forum I was reading. And what people don't get is I know probably the Frontier is the most bargain right now for a midsize. If you want an old school truck, you don't want these kind of modern features. I think they do have AC vents though. That would go shop Frontier, but you're not at 34,000. It's a lot of money now, but they kept going back to, well, I might as well just go to an F-150. And you're like, no, because
not even close.
That if you compare that $34,000 truck to an F-150, you're
not even close.
45,000. Like it's easily 10,000 more.
Can I say two things? First of all, Doug, who's a fan of my channel, luckily on your channel it's live stream because we're doing this amazing StreamYard thing, talks about chrome in the interior seems like always reflects in his eyes. I absolutely agree. Chrome interior is ridiculous. But I want to look at Allie Du Bois.
Allie, she's my co-host on Bronco Show.
Yeah, Allie. I gotta tell you what. Thank goodness you're commenting because this is too much of a bro show. And thank goodness. I mean, my wife watches these live streams and she's like, what the hell is going on? It's a sausage fest. And thank goodness somebody else is commenting because the price of escapes is now hit $40,000. I'd rather have Ranger. Absolutely. You know why the Ranger and smaller crossovers and SUVs are not selling as well? According to the internet, according to the YouTube thumbnails we're seeing these days, it's because trucks have gotten so much competitive with those price points. Why would you not go with a Ranger? Why would you not go with a Maverick? A Maverick's cheaper than an Escape. What are you looking at? Oh, the one grab handle. Bravo, Ford. One grab handle. Like, hello. Why is there one grab handle?
Sorry, I just had to do that one to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, it drove me nuts. And so I said something to the designer. He's like, "Well, that's really good feedback." Obviously,
yes. So I do want to talk to you a little bit about this because let's be honest, Ranger Raptor is the star of the show today. Now it's limited supply. It's only the star of the show today or this week. Ranger in general is going to be we're going to talk more about Rangers down the road than we will this truck. But where are you at with this interior of this thing? Because part of me loves the fact that they love their performance color. They want to throw that in there. But at the same point, I almost feel like it's a little over the top. I mean, and now I guess this is an over top truck as is. But I would have loved to seen them. Obviously, the steering wheel, you're going to have your zero. You want that orange. I would have loved to seen the seats match the outside of the vehicle. The colors, like bring those outside colors in because this was the Azure Gray vehicle, which is that kind of bluish gray. I don't know that the orange really meshes well with the outside color.
I love it. I love it. You know, I will say this: Ford takes a lot of shit in different areas, but Ford does the Raptor well. And the
Yes, no, they do.
Raptor, F-50 Raptor, the now we have the Ranger Raptor. If they knew something, they know Raptor really well, and I think it's just phenomenal. And I think this truck's very competitive, and I think it's going to be very, very interesting because Toyota Tacoma is last of the party. Last
Well,
of the
and I don't
party.
know that Toyota doesn't have the balls to do this.
No,
They're too conservative for a truck like this.
yeah. I don't know. I love the fact it's so competitive now because
Yes.
that makes consumers get a better quality vehicle with more competition. And I actually was just discussing this Facebook. People are asking about the GMC Canyon, whether they can do muddy and off-roading with the Denali, or if they have to go to the AT4X.
Yeah.
Guys, Denali is really capable. The Lariat is pretty damn capable. Like, you don't have to go full Raptor to get the capability. You don't. I mean, you
Four-wheel
can.
drive
But you
is
don't
four-wheel
have.
drive.
Yeah, but I mean, these are really good vehicles.
Yes.
Like, I mean, if you get stuck in a Raptor, like, don't post about it on social media. Do not take a video of it, and B, what kind of dumbass are you to get stuck in this kind of, you know what I mean? These things are so awesome. Like, oh my
Well,
goodness, it's so
you know,
amazing.
so GM took a lot of heat for removing the headlight switch on them, and it's in the cluster now. Which for me, honestly, I after you started talking about that, I realized I've never, since I bought my Bronco, ever turned the switch on or off. Like I don't worry about it. But I will say for this particular truck, the Raptor, all the locker features and everything seem to be in the touch screen. That's one thing I'm not a fan of. I like physical buttons for that. It's already like a fighter jet. You've got the on off switches in the roof for all the accessories you want to add. But there's a couple features like that I do not want to have to swipe to. And heated seats. I don't know that these trucks have it. I'm assuming they're going to at least have heated seats for their price point. But I don't want to have to scroll through the damn thing to figure out where the heated seat button was. I kind of like, there's certain things I want physical buttons for.
That is such a comment right now in the industry between touchscreen versus knobs and buttons.
But you know why it is? It's all about chips. It's easier to program it to work than it is to actually have a chip button you have to use.
It's just a gigantic cluster industry going on with that stuff because it is massive. People have different viewpoints on that stuff. And I'm telling you, it is just incredible the viewpoints we're getting back to the stuff and I don't know where it's at. I don't mind. I don't know. It seems like you're off-roading and you get in a situation you're gonna set the truck up to be that way, but a lot of times when you're off-roading, especially for me, stuff happens and you don't realize it. All of a sudden you have to click the button.
Yeah. Guys, I know for me, I only have 29 likes. If you guys are on my stream, smash that like button for me. And I know Tim
especially
over there.
For Dave. I don't know what the deal is with the YouTube. I'm gonna double check this later. I don't know if I'm making money off the deal or I'm just talking like.
No. So it's pretty interesting, Tim. So you have 31 likes on your channel, and I'm looking at my back door, my studio door. So currently, out of the viewers we have, 56 of them are from my channel, and the rest are from your channel. So welcome from Pickup Truck SUV Talk. Welcome to All Terrain Nation. Yeah. And guys, you guys have seen Tim enough on my channel, and I've been on Tim's channel plenty. I'm filling Jill sometimes.
Right. So I the thing to understand, people, is that I always am willing to help out whoever I can. Yes. And so Dave's got a great channel going. I give him my support, and it's whatever it's going to be. But
he won't give me his whiskey. He won't give me his whiskey. That's the weird thing.
No, that happened. I am TikTok right now. My recliner is calling me. I had like 4 hours sleep, and then I ran today on the treadmill, so I'm done.
Well, so Tim, I know, and I appreciate you being on here. Kind of final thoughts for you about this truck. Would this be a vehicle? So I know each year you buy a vehicle, kind of a long-term tester. If you were to buy mid-size, I know you usually try to go full size because there's probably a larger audience for you. Out of the couple trucks right now, mid-size, which was your top if you were to choose right now that you had to personally buy?
So I emailed my tax accountant to verify weight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 6,000 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's curb weight. GBWR, whatever the deal is. GBWR, I think that's the weight she pointed out. 6,000 pounds. And I'm in trouble. I'm in deep trouble. Oh my goodness, I'm in trouble. I love the Canyon. I thought the Canyon was, for me, I know people are going to argue with me in the comments, but the premium interior of the Canyon, I want the premium interior. If I'm going to spend $60,000, I want the premium interior. Colorado was good, but volume seller. Canyon does not get the same SEO that the Colorado gets, which causes me a lot of concerns. Search engine optimization. Damn, 3-syllable words. Anyways, people don't search for that stuff so often. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like in between on that. Then it's like, I'm waiting to see the Toyota Tacoma. It is the best-selling midsize truck. So how do you not buy that one? I don't know. I'm in trouble this year. I'm hoping something else comes to the line because I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day, going, I just buy all of them. I don't know. I don't have it. Oh my god, they're so good. Like how do you decide? Like how do you legitimately decide which one to go with?
So I think you said it in your video the other day, the GMC or the Colorado. Which one do you lean towards?
I'm taking the GMC as a person. As a business, I'm buying Colorado.
Really?
More people search for the Colorado than they do the GMC, right? Mm-hmm. So the Google Trends, from a business, I have to buy the Colorado, but I really want the Canyon because I think the Canyon is really good. And so, Elliot throws out to me too. Refresh 2024 F50. Yeah. Oh, that's on my list. You should see my list. It's massive.
We lost your volume. We lost Tim's volume. He unplugged something. Yep.
There we go. That's on my list too, and it's like, yeah, they're all. I mean, I'm gonna do a live stream on this with questions on this because I'm gonna have to have the audience decide for me because I don't know. There's no clear winner. The Colorado's really good. The Canyon's really good. The Ranger's really good, and the Tacoma's gonna be really good too. So it's like, how do you decide?
And if those images that I know were posted up this past couple of days were anywhere close to being true, I mean that's a great looking, the interior. And then with Toyota now you got Trail Hunter or whatever they call it. That's going to be looks like a long bed off-road based vehicle. I know that. Like you said earlier, it's such a good time to be in cars and trucks. Well, we'll just say trucks. Because the market is so competitive and it's great. I always said with Jeep, they had no competition with Wrangler till now. We've got a Bronco that's going to force both to be freaking amazing.
Fantastic with consumers, yeah, absolutely.
And so I think with the idea that off-road trucks are kind of I won't say off-road trucks, just trucks in general, midsize. The idea of midsize used to be they were just a turd. They were just like I remember the days of the S10 with a little, what was it, a 2.4 4-cylinder that was like 96 horsepower. Were awful. It was a bench seat, and that was a great vehicle. Now it's a Cadillac. So we're fussing about little tiny details. That's how good these trucks are, that you've got to nitpick the littlest things that 10, 15 years ago we would have never noticed. So
I would be happy with any of the full mid-size trucks right now. I'd be happy with any of them because they are so good. And I just think that the mid-size truck market is ready to explode. I really think it's ready to explode because the products are so good. The competition is so fierce. Consumers are going to win like crazy because consumers are going to get a really good truck. And the idea that you could buy full size for that much money, it's just garbage because the full size trucks have gotten so big and expensive. And so it's like, I don't know. And then I have the problem where it's like, from taxes standpoint, I have to spend so much money each year to get all the tax write-offs. I literally could just buy both trucks because I need that much of a tax write-off.
Yeah. Well, what a great problem to have if you had the Trail Boss versus whatever the XLT trimmer. What I mean? What a great.
I know. I'm just like I don't know. It's just and the fuel economy is not very good. People it's just not the way that midsize trucks are anymore. Just crazy.
Speaking of fuel economy, So the numbers are kind of out on Mustang. Where do you think the V8 Mustang would be highway? I'm just quickly. I'm just curious what you think of that would be.
I'm gonna say V8 version of Mustang. 19.
25.
Hmm.
25 highway. 15 city. But,
Yeah.
I was surprised. Well, Tim, I know you were worn out. If you're on
I'm
Tim's
sorry,
channel
buddy.
and you would
I'm
like
just...
to, I've got another guest popping up here. So
Yeah, totally do it. I'm gonna get some more water and sit in my recliner.
yeah, so if you're on Tim's channel, come over to my channel, maybe subscribe as you do it. But we'll let Tim go here. And Tim, thanks for dual streaming this.
Yeah, crazy.
We're gonna do this again. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Probably. All right, sounds good, buddy.
Bye, Tim.
We'll see you.
Next up is Miss Allie. Allie, Tim couldn't say your name. I apologize, Allie. It was Tim has been on the road for a while. He's exhausted. But Allie, you knew this was coming because you know how bad that I've tried to be number one on your list of Ranger Raptors. And
did something launch today? It's weird.
I know, it's kind of strange. And of course, you knew what was coming. I knew what was coming. But you also got another special treat. You got to get the plus version of what I saw. You got the extra plus version. I don't know if you can talk about much of it, but
I can't talk much about it.
Well,
I can talk a little bit of it.
You were at the plant where they make these today and kind of got to look around a little bit, right?
Yeah. So I got to see the new Ranger.
Mm-hmm. What are your impressions?
I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
I was never a Ranger. Like, the thing is, like, y'all kind of talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll kind of persuade customers to an F-150 over a Ranger. Just depending on...
Well, old Ranger. Come on. Yeah, definitely.
I know. Definitely. But it's price point half the time. We're also in a very heavy leasing market. Mm-hmm. Half the time, F-150 lease is better than Ranger, and there's other reasons to push a customer to one car over another.
Sure.
So, like, looking at it today, I was shocked at the STX. Shocked that it just has so many. It's not your base truck anymore. It's not. Like, and if they're gonna start that again, pricing is not out yet.
Can you tell me a little bit about because the STX package it went over my head a little bit because I don't follow F-150 as tight as other people do. What is that exactly?
So it's an appearance package basically. It's an XL truck, so it is your base of a base truck with an appearance package. You'll get updated interior options sometimes. You'll get updated grills, things like that. Like on the F-150, you get an upgraded grill. You get running boards. No. You get upgraded wheels. Maybe it's running boards. You get just an appearance package. It's an appearance package. Right. It's basically all it is. But it just makes the truck look a little bit more updated than it actually is.
Hey, you're not getting steelies and stuff like that, basically.
Yeah. So, like, looking at that today, I was shocked. I thought it was pretty impressive. I mean, obviously, there's no doubt Raptor Ranger was absolutely incredible. I was very impressed with the seat because, like, they look like they are racing seats, but I sat in it and it wasn't too tight. Like, you know how some of them are just like too tight and they're just like uncomfortable? The seat was very comfortable. So, yeah, that was super cool.
So this is the STX we're talking about. So it's an XL trim with the STX package. No, when me and Keller were walking around this thing, the wheels, I mean, are they the nicest? No, but they're also, once again, not steely wheels.
Yeah, they're not steelies, and there's not a plastic like hubcap thing you're throwing on there.
The bottom of the bumper there is all painted, match the vehicle, which is nice. Sometimes you just get this weird black plastic. The grill looks fancy.
Most likely on the XL you will.
Yeah.
If Ford follows suit, you'll just have a plain black plastic grill.
Okay. Well, for launch of this one, it's not dual color by any means, but it was pretty nice. I was pretty pleased with this vehicle. But the interior of it, the seats were nice. I mean, they're cloth seats, but they're not just boring cloth. It's not just like a plain no pattern to it. It's got this cool octagon imprint into it.
Mhm.
You're getting a digital cluster still. You know,
I was
you're not getting,
shocked with that because like on the F-150 you still get like an 8-inch screen, but like you get the full on like digital cluster touchscreen. I don't know. I was very impressed today. I'm not gonna lie.
well, good. So you said you got to sit in a Raptor a little bit, and you're obviously you know F-150 Raptors. I'm assuming you sold a few of those.
Mhm.
Did this feel like a smaller version of that truck?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was in, sometimes I don't want the big truck in the small truck, but for this one, I want to feel like I'm
I was
getting a
impressed.
bargain Raptor, but I'm just getting a Raptor in a smaller package, and that's really what it felt like.
Yeah. No, it absolutely did because I mean, I guess I didn't know what to expect because I was expecting the inside of our current Ranger just a little bit beefed up, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's so
No,
different.
the interior is way different.
Yeah. I loved it. The shifter was weird.
Oh, the E-shifter? Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to mess around with that a little bit. I didn't get to drive a truck.
Right.
But it was parked and he let me turn it on and I was just kind of messing with it
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm like, well, this is kind of weird. And he's like, it took me a week to get used to because the guys get to drive them, of course, like around the plant and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not like, well, I guess they drive them inside, but like outside in the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, it was cool to kind of just like mess with it a little bit. But of course, I saw like Bronco Heritage and Limited, so my day was set. So
I've got an idea of what you got to see, and very jealous of that. And what? So I know you've driven by MAP before. That's your first time being at MAP, right?
inside
MAP?
yes. So
That's
inside,
a small
yes.
plant.
So
It's small.
So I didn't realize that they also do stamping inside of there for Lincoln and Super Duty, and there's like 3 other stamping things that they do in there. There was like
Nice.
that was insane. Like we just kept going, and I'm just like, we didn't even get to like half of it today, and it was like 2.5, 3 hours.
Wow.
And like one guy, he's like, if I'm walking too fast, let me know. I'm like, no, like I'm just kind of taking it in. So
You know that walking thing. So when I worked for Nissan, when I was in the Smyrna plant,
I
you
will
learn
say
to
my
walk.
feet hurt.
Well, but you learn to walk fast because your job
You
is
have
hurry,
to.
hurry, hurry. I would catch myself. I'd leave the plant and I'd go to my local Kroger's or something to get groceries. I was walking at
And
this
you're just like,
dog. Yes, I would catch people looking at me like, "Is this guy like on cocaine? Like, what is this dude's deal? He's flying." And
yeah,
then
it was really cool.
Kelly would be like, "Look, dude, you got to slow down." Like we'd go shopping or something. You just gotta. But I know that pace that you're talking about that they walk at.
Yeah, because like I just kept like looking around, and Laura, I got to see both of them. She just asked if it was a Heritage or a Limited. Got to see both.
So were you a part of the? I know Ford was briefing dealers today. Did you get any kind of? Were you any part of that?
No, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. I got a little bit of a lowdown from Josh. He was messaging me a little bit, and we were just.
I know. I kept bugging Josh. I was like, anything about ordering these damn things, like.
All I know is that we get one to start off, and it's Q4. I can almost guarantee you it'll be the end of December, and they'll get like one out just to say, "Oh, we did it. We got one out on Q4." I can like
pat ourselves on the back. We did it.
That's the thing. I told Josh that. I'm like, I guarantee you this is how it's gonna go. So I don't know all the details yet. I do have to watch that tomorrow when I go in.
So they'll definitely, if you're interested in the Ranger Raptor, though, there's you're playing in a new thing of allocations, and if you're not been a part of the Bronco debacle, we'll say, of allocations for just trucks or SUVs, Ranger Raptor is going to be a whole new monster, and I think if I remember right, you're with Brighton Ford in Michigan there. If somebody orders from a vehicle from you guys, you don't nail them for anything, do you? Or is there going to be markup for this truck?
As of what I know, I don't think. I haven't talked to my managers. I don't
Right.
I don't know. It's hard to say. It's ultimately going to be their call.
Right.
Do I think so? No. Depending on it depends on who it is. If we just like get one, and it's like not tagged for a customer, I would assume so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But my point to that is, what do you think if you've got one in showroom, because dealers will get one to sit in the showroom? What are you thinking a markup on this truck's going to be? $30K?
I don't see, like, I don't know, because like I don't know if my dealer is different or if we're just not as competitive as some dealers, because
Well, you're in a smaller community too, right?
not really, because we're so in Ford's 3,200 dealers, we are a top 100 dealer.
Okay.
In all of them. So like we do relatively large volume and we're always up in standings and things like that. But like I know some dealers do regular Broncos for 30K over.
Yeah.
Where if you're out of state, we do 5.
Right.
So it's just like it's one of those things that I don't know. I mean, do I think markup is necessary? No, I don't like the fact that we do it 99% of the time. I get it from a dealer standpoint if you're out of state, because like we won't get you for service, we won't get you for accessories. Like, do I understand that? Yes. Do I like it? No.
Hey, I'll trade in vehicles with y'all. Trust me.
Oh, trust me. I think there's someone sitting in your driveway right now. Weird.
I'm just saying, that Mustang could come right back to y'all.
I know.
But I know that's the one thing.
Do I see this going for 30? Yeah, because it has a Raptor badge on it.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, there's not going to be a lot of these things out there from what I've heard. Just from talking to Josh and talking to 2 other people, and talking to Ford. Like,
So how many? Last year, how many Raptor allocations do you think y'all got for Bronco?
10.
Yeah. Which is pretty good. You are a high volume dealership if you got close to that number. And those are,
we had 9 or 10.
and it's a vehicle that anything Raptor, Ford doesn't want to sell a lot of. That's just part of the appeal of it. They want it to be the untangible. You can't always have what you want.
Yep.
Vehicle. Plus it's a high performance vehicle. Should they charge $60,000 for wherever this thing's going to be? No, it's probably in reality the parts justified at $45,000, but there's that Raptor badge. You're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Ford wants to make a little bit of cheddar on that thing.
Yeah.
But I am the one thing I've seen people fussing about already is markups. You're like, damn man, can they get the vehicle to? I know we're coming out of 3 years of nobody can get cars because nobody was building cars, but we're slowly getting out of that. But Raptor's always had this. Anything Raptor, F-150 Raptor. I remember Gen 1s. What they were in the 50s, I think, when Gen 1 F-150s came out. I remember seeing them for $80,000-$90,000 then. So this isn't I want to temper people's expectations for wanting these. It's going to bring top dollar, man. It just is.
And it's kind of funny that you mentioned it, because like realistically what it cost Ford to make, most of that goes to Ford. Like we buy it at invoice pricing. Obviously there's a little bit more that goes into it. I'm not getting into all of that, but the dealer,
lay all the numbers out, Allie. Like I want to the penny. Jeez.
I will throat punch you. But yes, the dealer gets like 100% of whatever markup they get, but what they actually make on this truck is not as much as people think it is at all. So, what just happened?
You're like, well, there you go.
There we go. That was weird. I have the weirdest like computer issues. I swear to God.
I thought you moved to fix that issue.
I moved to get out of a dang HOA.
So you can have more cars, right? So out of what you've seen, I'm assuming you've seen. I know I've sent you a few pictures now of the new 2 colors for Raptor. Anything that you can think of that we might, any plain colors that we might see, anything new that way that you can think of? Well, I mean, obviously white, black, or always silver is always a hot color. Probably the chili pepper red.
I mean, we're gonna have white, black, velocity blue. I wouldn't hate it in carbonized gray.
Okay.
I do. I mean, I've always liked
You're
orange.
kind of lean towards that color, anyways. But
I
come on.
know. I know. I've had it in like 3 of my trucks. Well, it used to be called magnetic, so like they've always had like a darker. Because like I don't like silver. We'll probably see silver.
Yeah. I would love a lead foot. The lead foot gray, I would love. But Ford has this weird habit right now of that plant seems to only want to make gray colors. So I can't imagine they want to keep that trend going.
We keep joking with them. We're like, it's just like 50 Shades of Gray.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
all right, guys. So I've got Allie for about 5 more minutes, and so if you have any questions, Allie, if you don't know, if you're new to the channel, Allie works for Brighton Ford. She co-hosts our Bronco Talk Live on Monday nights, where we exclusively talk Ford Bronco. But I know you had to like it.
I'm honestly thinking about getting not a wrap. Don't worry, I won't take the first allocation, Dave. But I'm
scared me, girl. You scared me. My little beaver here was about to be crying.
Half tempted to get a Ranger.
Just a Raptor or just a Ranger in general?
Just a Ranger in general. Just something little.
Larry, it was nice. I think the money is in XLT though. I think the only thing
the point I was gonna make earlier when I forgot the other guy's name. The price on the Rangers is not bad. What people don't realize is that like Escapes now start at like 35.
Oh, I seen your comment. You were commenting a little bit about that.
Yeah, because they were talking about price and stuff, and I can't remember what someone had said. But you don't realize like how expensive things are getting, and like honestly, the fact that they're gonna start it again, all speculation. Nothing is like printed of what these are gonna cost yet. But if they start them in the mid to high 30s, it's gonna be a killer market for these things. So
yeah, I'm excited for Midsize Trucks right now. I know you're not, obviously you sell Fords, but Toyota owns this market of midsize trucks. Everybody sort of aims up.
In Michigan, not so much.
Well, but they sell, I mean, I can look at their sales numbers. They sell over 200,000.
Yeah. That's the thing.
They double everybody else's.
I know, that's the thing. Like in Michigan, it's truly like Ford, Chrysler, Stellantis, Fiat, whatever the hell we want to call them, and Chevy. Like those are your three. Like that's where you're seeing like all the time. So it's really nice to see now. I mean, Dodge is kind of out of it, but it's really nice to see Ford and Chevy truly going at it.
Yes.
Because I don't think with what they release, I don't think they have anything on Ranger.
No, and I don't think when Chevy kind of ended the Colorado program around the same time that Ranger sort of died off in 2010, 11. Even then, they just made trucks. They weren't competitive about it. It was just, here's what we're going to offer. Now they know they have to, it's so competitive, they have to earn your dollar. They better give you what you want. And Ford air vents, please, come on, in the rear of these things. I
don't know. See, the thing is, like, it doesn't really bother me in the Bronco because, well, one, I'm never in the back, but at the same time, like, if my dog doesn't overheat, like, I don't care.
Right. No, I know.
I don't have a lot of people with me, but I mean, I get why people are upset.
Even though, I mean, let's be honest, even though the front air vents, I grew up in the 80s, man. Like no car had a rear, like we didn't die. It's just you get used to a few conveniences, and we always want more. Hey, one last thing with you. One thing I did notice, and we pointed out in a video, the XLT still has a key. Come on, Ford. Like I understand
Okay, with that though, they have different equipment groups. So like typically, like for Ranger right now, XLT is 300, 301, and I think 302. I'm wondering if you go to like a 302 package, if that gives you a push button.
Well, so me and Kelly were talking about this a little bit earlier. I think if I'm looking at import brands versus like Ford and Chevy, I think Ford with the midsize trucks need to stop with all these stupid packages. Look, man, make an XL, XLT, the Lariat, and Raptor, and you have a couple options and be done with it, man. Like
I truly thought they were gonna do like a mid high lux, like they did on Bronco. I honestly saw everything kind of going towards that, and it didn't happen. So I mean, I haven't seen an order guide yet, so maybe
it's what's strange that every trim seems to get the same radio. I know there's cost savings and simplicity, so I get that, but no, I am with you a little bit. You would have thought that. I know they don't all get the same features within the what do they call it, Sync 4A now or something.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's certain features you don't get. I will say I've turned the vehicles on. The monitoring system in these things they're HD. It's super crisp. I didn't get to see the backup cameras in them, so I'm hoping they're slightly better than what Bronco has now. As far because Bronco's good, but Allie, if you would see what Jeep does in theirs, like it's like their backup cameras are like ridiculously crystal clear. But either way, they're going to
be from a couple years ago because they were shit.
Oh no, they were all well. Come on, trust me. The 4Runner now, if you get in a brand new 4Runner, it still looks like you're playing Mario Brothers from the 80s. It's awful.
Ding, ding.
Yes, it's like it's awful. And how Toyota 4Runner guys,
which I feel about Chevys. Like whenever I get a Chevy appraised and like I go and put it in reverse, I'm like, oh. I'm like, I feel like I'm a pilgrim.
Iconic Off-Road says the needs the Texas rear vent package. See, that's the thing is there's a lot of America's a big place, and not everybody. Some people need that AC, and then some people up north might want the heat.
Shut up.
Well, let's see, J Ray. That's how the Explorer's 302 package gave you a letter, fog lights, push button, start, and a few other things. I'm sure, like me and Tim were talking about, part of the problem with what they show us at these press events are here's a quick hit. Here's something like to show the press to get excited about, to talk to you guys about. I'm like Allie. I'm sure you're on it. I'm sure there'll be some package that puts you into push start on that thing. But I don't even like where they put the button. It's a column shifter or a column key, and even the push button starts there. And on Raptor, it just feels like kind of, if you look where Bronco is in the dash, it just feels like an afterthought. And I don't want to pay $60,000 for a truck that every time that push button is one of those things you use every time you start the vehicle. I don't want it to feel like they forgot about it and just went, oh, just shove it there.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
Allie,
or it could be like BMW and like other ones and just make you pay for half this shit.
Well, and
like monthly.
Chevrolet's trying to do that, and I'm glad. I was happy to see Ford was like, look, we went down that path of doing our own infotainment operating system, and it didn't work. So we're just letting other people, let Apple and Android do that, and
yeah, we'll just, who was it? I had someone I can't remember what he was buying, but he literally came and bought a Ford because he didn't want to pay monthly for heated seats.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt
I'm like,
it.
I'm pretty, and honestly, I'm pretty sure his payment was higher on what he bought than what he was going to buy, and he was just doing it to like prove a point. I'm just like,
yeah,
like, okay, I'm not gonna question him, but
hey, though I will say, I know, Laura's like, amen for it. Ford doesn't charge as nearly as much as others, but I will say this: they're watching what GM does, and if it doesn't affect GM sales, or they don't think it will, trust me, there's money to be made. They're not going to turn it down either.
They're not going to turn it down, but I also think they are listening to customers more.
I hope so. I think
they're listening more than they ever have, because look at what they brought to the market. And like, especially with Bronco, look what they keep changing because of customers.
I can't talk about what they're changing.
I'm just saying, there's 3 years of them.
That is true. That is
21,
true.
20. I'm talking about 21, 22, 23.
I know they had a sub in some of them for about a paragraph, and then a week later they took the sub out. Then is that even back in the Bronco? Did they actually put that back in them?
I've been so like, the last few months have kind of just been a whirlwind. As you can see, I'm still sitting in an empty freaking room. I have a chair and a desk.
Well, let me get you off the stream then, so you can maybe decorate your chair and desk with the pictures on the floor. I don't know.
I know. I have to find the rest of my Bronco stuff. It's in a box somewhere.
If you have not yet, go over to Allie's channel. It's basically her name. You see her
It's my
comment
name.
there. You see it under
Actually,
her
go to my
name there.
Instagram too, because I'm like super close to hitting 2,100.
Don't go to her Instagram. Just her only YouTube. Only YouTube. No, I'm playing. Go
No.
over there and check the channel out. I think you're starting to do your own kind of content, which is fun. Allie's on our show every Monday, unless she's buying a house. It seems like,
or moving, or going to Supercell,
or she's hanging out with Bronco Nation guys. You know, not as
know.
cool. I get it. But go over there, check out Allie's stuff. Smash that subscribe button for us. She would greatly appreciate that. And Allie, I want to say thank you for your time for jumping in.
No worries. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
See ya.
There you guys go. There was Miss Allie Dubois or Dubois. I want to say special thank you to Tim for jumping in. These were all last minute guests. I hit Tim up earlier, but he was just getting back from. You could see Tim was beat, and so I greatly appreciate him offering a few times. I want to end up where I think with Raptor. I think Raptor is going to be a home run for them. I think there's going to be such a demand for that truck that Ford. It's going to have a nice problem on their hands. I think with, we got the new GMC ZR2, Colorado ZR2 Bison coming up that we're going to see at the end of the month. I think we're going to see where maybe Ford takes the Ranger Raptor. Does Ford give us the Raptor and then much like the F-150, then they go crazy with a Raptor R version of the little midsize truck? I don't know. I don't know if the regulations would hold them back from that federally. But I'm excited. I'm very excited about what's happening in midsize truck. As far as Ranger itself, me and Kelly had a blast at the event, and it wasn't because of Ford treated us nice, because they did. But I think the trucks are great. I think they're a much needed improvement from the last Ranger, which was just a holdover truck anyways. We knew where that one was going to, when it was launched, we knew another truck was coming. And Ford said almost from the get-go that, hey, we have the new T6 platform coming that we're building Bronco on, that Ranger's going to share that platform, which is how this works. They don't build one vehicle in just one platform. They always have to have a partner to help offset the cost of that thing. Or else some of these vehicles might be $70,000, $80,000, would be you think they're expensive now. Once again, I was telling Allie there, I think XLT, from what I've seen, seems to be with the FX4 package right now, seems to be the best value. I didn't get a price on that one, but just from what it felt like, you're getting cloth seats still, but yet there was wireless charging. The 12-inch monitor in that thing is ridiculous. I forget what it's 8 inches or whatever in the dash. That's really, really nice. Seating position was great. You did get electric seats in that particular truck. I don't know exactly which package this thing had. I believe there was bedliner in the seats, and I want to say it was electric. I might be wrong. Electric sliding glass in the back of the thing, which was cool. I think there's room for improvement though. So once I get my hands on to do a drive on it, we'll know a little bit more from there. But next up, May 19th, I believe it's the 19th, is Taco Day. So we will be talking. We got Tacoma coming up, and we touched on a little bit today. The photo that I brought out the other day was pretty freaking epic. As Tim said, he did confirm that with Toyota that wasn't actually stolen image. So hope they don't find how the person that did get it. Hope there's nobody gets in trouble for that. But the audience, we greatly appreciate when people do that, because it's the internet. Nothing goes away. So once it's on the internet, it's here to stay. I'm excited for that truck. The only thing we need to know now is the powertrain. We know we're going to get a hybrid version of that, but will we get a 4-cylinder, or will they offer a V6 in that thing? And I wish they would offer a V6, but I'd say no. So, guys, as always, I want to say thank you to everybody for watching the show tonight. Thank you for smashing that like button for me. And thank you for all the subscribers. We're, let's see, I'm about 3 away from hitting 8,888 subscribers. So that's pretty fun. And we just keep growing. So whether it be 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, or these damn trucks that I really want to drive, I mean, like badly. It's been your All Terrain Nation. I'm your host, Dave Boyd, and we're out. Peace, everybody. Talk to y'all Monday.